Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Convention Storytime! Woo! And the crowd erupts into applause. Only kidding. Okay, anyway, let's get to the story for today. Today we're talking about an incident that happened at Anime Midwest 2015. Now, we don't know if what actually happened is what we're thinking happened, but I'll give you guys all the details and you can decide for yourself what you think happened. So, let's just do this. We find ourselves at Anime Midwest 2015 on Sunday. We've had a crazy weekend. Oh my gosh, so much has happened. We had the Kigu party the night before. It was so fun. And now we've got to do this panel. We get to do this panel, which was our first panel ever, and we were really excited about it. So we're cleaning up our room. We're trying to get it set up and mostly ready. We get most of our stuff taken down, but we leave just a couple of items. There was I think my mic was up there. No, it was Dakota's mic. We have the same mic, the one that I'm using now. He has one just like it. His was up there. I had a poster and some other stuff, and then there was Xavier's headphones, which are apparently really expensive and really nice headphones. And we left them up there. We were going to go back for them because the panel was going to be done before checkout. We would have still had a half an hour or something after the panel ended to go and check out. So we go to our panel. It's amazing. Everything goes perfectly well. So many people came. Thank you to everybody who came. I've said this a million times, but really, thank you. It was awesome. And then we leave the panel, and we know we need to be quick. So we're like, let's get back to the room and get the rest of our stuff, and then go check out. Dakota and Xavier decide that they're kind of hungry, so they decide to head over to the Con Suite first. If you don't know what that is, Anime Midwest does this thing that they call the Con Suite, where they give out free ramen, rice, and soda all weekend. So they go there to grab some food, and me and Drew are going to head back up. Before we head up, we do walk over to this huge line we see that is for the Ghibli movie premiere, and we ask them, we're like, have they not even let in yet? And they're like, no. And, which is crazy because that was supposed to start the same time our panel did. So we just wanted to see how the organization was going for that and everything for the review later on. And then I think I recorded one or two cosplay before we got on the elevator and went upstairs. So we go upstairs and we head to our room. We're actually on the top floor. We head to our room, which I think was 1041. I can't guarantee that, but I think that's what it was. And we go to the room, and when we get there, we notice that our keys won't work anymore. It's completely locked. Our keys will no longer let us in. And we weren't having problems with the keys. I've been to hotels where the keys don't work sometimes, so you kind of got to mess with it. These keys had worked every time. There were no issues. So suddenly they're not working, and we're like, okay, what's going on? We see this maid a couple rooms down. We go over and we're like, yeah, our keys aren't working to get in our room. Is there any way you can let us in? And she's like, what room? And we tell her it's 1041, and she's like, oh no, that room's been cleaned out. They're done. You can't get back in. And we're like, we better be able to get back in. That's our room. We want to go and get the rest of our stuff out of there. And so she comes and she lets us in, and while she's letting us in, she says that she already cleaned that room. And I was like, we were not checked out. It's not even checkout time yet. We were not done with this room. And she says that it doesn't matter, that there's so many people there that they're just starting at the top floor and they're going to start going down even though it wasn't checkout time yet. And it's like, are you kidding? It's not even time to check out. We're not late. We still had a half an hour to check out. And we go in there and we're looking around, and my poster's in there. So I was okay on that. She was like, oh yeah, we saw this and we love this here. And then we're like, okay. There were also a mic and headphones. Expensive stuff. This stuff adds up to at least a couple $100. Just those two things. And she's like, oh yeah, a guy came and got him. And we're like, a guy? What guy? What did he look like? And she was like, it was just a guy. Somebody else in the room, I guess. They came and grabbed him. And they're the ones that let us in to clean the room. And we're like, that's really weird. I don't know who would have done that. But okay, we assume that it's Dakota and Xavier. We assume that they beat us up there. It seems really unlikely that they would have beaten us up there because they had to go to the Con Suite, and all weekend the Con Suite had huge lines to get, at least for the soda. It's not that quick to get your food. It's not slow, but it wouldn't have been that quick that they could have gotten it. And you can't leave the Con Suite with the food. They would have had to eat it there. So for them to get it, eat it there, and then come back up, grab the stuff, and then be gone to where we don't run into them at all, it seemed really unlikely. But we're like, okay, that must have been what happened, and we leave. Because what other explanation is there? So we leave, and we're on our way to the elevators, and I call up Dakota. And I'm like, hey, did you already come to the room? And he goes, no. And that's the moment that I'm like, okay, something has happened. What's going on? I tell him that they say that they're in the elevator. They're on their way up. And while they're on their way up, I'm like, you're positive you didn't come to the room? Xavier didn't come to the room. Ask him. And Xavier says he didn't come to the room. None of us came to the room since the panel. And I tell them that the maids told us that they already cleaned the room and that everything's gone and that a guy came and took our stuff, took the mic and the headphones. And they're getting really mad. They're really freaking out, which I don't blame them. This is hundreds of dollars worth of stuff is suddenly gone. Some mystery guy took them, and we don't know what's happening. They get off the elevator. Xavier comes out, and he is flipping out, and he kicks this. There's this little circle couch. I can't think of the word. Like a giant circle to sit on, and he comes out and kicks it, and it scoots across. He kicked it hard, and he's getting really mad, and he's starting to lead the charge. And we stomp back over to the room, and we find that maid. She was another room down, and we're like, look, were either of these two guys the ones that came and got it? And she said no. And we were like, okay, well then what's the guy look like? Who's the guy? Because somebody stole our stuff. And she goes, nobody stole your stuff. And getting really defensive. And I'm like, well, okay, then who took it? If it's none of us, somebody took it. Who took the stuff? And she's like, well, I don't know. And Xavier's like, no, hold on. We got to find it. We're all we've got to find this stuff. We're about to be looking around. We're going to be looking for people carrying the mic, maybe have the headphones on them. We're ready to go on a witch hunt. And we were also going to go report to the hotel that we'd had stuff stolen from our room and that the maids saw them. But then we're about to leave, and the maid's like, wait, let me try one other thing. And she takes us, and she walks us deep down a hallway on the 10th floor and finds another maid who's working in another room. And she's like, hey, do you have the stuff from room 1041? And she's like a mic and headphones. And she pulls up a bag, and she's like, oh yeah, it's right here. And gives it back to us. And she's like, there you go. And then sends us on our way. We don't question it anymore because we're happy we got the stuff back. But then we start thinking about it, and we're like, this does not add up. And she told us, she did say that she cleaned the room with her. And so we're like, okay, what happened? Because to us, it seems like, and we don't know this, you put it together for yourself, but it seems like to us that these maids tried to steal the mic and the headphones. The reason I say that is because they told us that a guy came and got them. First of all, they cleaned our room before it was even time to check out. They noticed we were not there, and we had a do not disturb sign on our door. We always keep it there because we don't want them coming in our room. We just don't. We clean it ourselves until it's time to leave. So they first came in our room with the do not disturb sign on the door. Then they tell us that a guy came and took the stuff. She's very confident about this. She's standing by the story that a guy came. I think she told me and Drew this to convince us that it was one of our friends that took it and that we would go and find them later, and then it would be too late and the maids would be gone and we wouldn't be able to find them. But luckily, Xavier and Dakota were on their way up immediately. So we met up with them and we go and tell her, and then I think she was caught, and I think it seemed like at first she was just going to let it happen, but then she realized that maybe she should give it back. Because, I don't know, that's just what it seems like. She said that the two of them cleaned it, and obviously she knew this other maid had it. She went right to her, the maid had it in a bag, and she gave it right to her. So why did she say that a guy came and took it, but they were going to take the stuff? She knew where it was the whole time. She knew exactly what we were looking for from the beginning. So why did she lie to us? I mean, I'm glad I didn't push it any further. We didn't want to mess up the end of our weekend, and this was right after the panel. We were still off of the high from the panel. We were so excited, and then we had that happen, and it was really crazy. So let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Let me know, do you think they were trying to steal it, or do you think this is a misunderstanding? Let me know your take on all of this. And also, have you ever had anything like this happen to you at a convention, where something weird happens with your rooms, or having something stolen out of your room, or maybe something weird going on with the maids that is kind of a misunderstanding. Let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for listening to but today's convention story time. I think I have 2 more to do. One more from Anime Midwest, and then I remembered one from Youmacon that I want to do. I don't think I did any stories from Youmacon. It was so crazy. I forgot everything. But I think I remember one that I want to tell. And then I also have the MatsuriCon video to make for the meetup. The meetup time is planned, and I'll make that video here soon. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video.